Greeks. Thank you for joining us. That Fritzy in the background. She's paying attention, keeping her eye on everything. It's good for her. Got the background back up. So apparently there's a new technology to keep backgrounds up that I wasn't aware of. It's called Velcro. So I was using like some sticky thing because I don't want to put a hole in the wall. I just want to, just glue it, you can say technically, or stick it on the wall. And it kept failing yesterday. So I ran out of... Anyway, I have enough backup. Now I can put stuff all over the place now. And these two aren't tearing up the background anymore. They're getting older again. Well, actually, they still are messing with it. I'm surprised they haven't torn it down. I don't think they've been trying that hard, actually. So it's back in business. I might put another different background up, but for right now, it's just nice to have something back there. So I guess it's some blue from yesterday. Guess we can try what it looks like with the. Let's see here. I didn't know all this is. This is very psychedelic. I'm not going to do that. It's the sun. That's the breathing, whatever that means. Let's see here. Let's relax. Put the sun, I guess. I'm not going to do the color one. I'll do sunrise. Sunrise with sunrise. So, and the background's backwards. Not that you can tell, but it is backwards. On purpose. Enough about that. All right, we're going to the holographic people again. I'm probably going to do a couple more of these. Yeah, there's Archon Technologies. There's, I'm starting to wonder if Stephen King is a background person. I mean, they can come in and just, I don't know for sure, but they can, keep our process going because a lot of these holographic people are just here to keep our reality going. Doesn't mean they have anything really there. How would we know? Detecting them is a little bit difficult, but who knows? But it is interesting. I mean, yeah, like I said, if aliens can come and go through here, they can appear as human and all that. We're just guinea pigs, basically. Now, is it that crazy? It sounds crazy, but is it? Yeah, as background people, some people just do the human routine. They vote whatever they need to vote for, election-wise, riot when they need to riot, whatever. They're part of the movie that we're living in. Yeah, so you have the movie, like you go see a movie, and that's a big deal these days. Of course, back then it was. Now it's like freaking ridiculous, but that's pretty exciting to create a movie and you tell what people to say and all that. But in reality, this is more, when you mess with our reality, you can say it's more fun. So it's just we're not seeing the background characters. Well, we kind of are. Maybe we're not getting a full detail of it. We can get theories, but we can't get real proof. I mean, technically you can, but is anybody going to believe it? So you see backstage of our reality. That's what channeling, that's what spiritual connections are. That's what it's not one person can have all the knowledge of it because it's just too much. But it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Everything exists in some form or another. I mean, one person might think it's false information maybe for them, but for other people, it's right. And maybe it's false. Like, who knows? It's like, it might not just be for you. That's all. It's weird. And that gets complicated too. Either way, just whatever works for you. That's all that matters. Anyway, and Halliburton, it's a shadow company. Dick Cheney's little Iraq war, just a disgusting company. They deal with oil drilling, and city building, like actually city building, like literally infrastructure building. Like if you want to build a city, Halliburton can do quite a bit of it. They're big on the oil drilling, and I believe they have a lot of connections to Saudi Arabia. And now we're not oil dependent anymore. Guess where we're getting our oil from? Places that Halliburton is connected to. It's like super elite. That's so Illuminati. It's just, and it's yeah, they got sued or got in trouble for overcharging during the Iraq War. I guess you can say they're the type that have the $1,000 shower curtains, things like that. That's those guys, something like that. They live a life of luxury. Let's put it that way. I feel also Men in Black energy connected to them. No surprise there. Wasn't expecting that, but not that I'm all that surprised. It is part of the global elite, obviously. It's like IBM. It's like Boeing. Halliburton is pretty much in the shadows. How many people are talking about it? During the Iraq War, it was big in the news, but other than that, it's kind of like a shadow company. I mean, it's there. It's huge. It's, you can't miss it. It's kind of like Raytheon in some regard, at least in popularity. But Halliburton is just pure evil. I mean, there's some good things there somewhere, but overall, it's evil. So it's the energy I'm getting from it. And the Library of Alexandria. That's different. I haven't tapped into that like ever. So, Library of Alexandria has a lot of somebody's doing something back there. Something's going on. Alexandria has pay attention. Alexandria has go get her Fritzy. See what's going on. Atlantis. I believe it did have Atlantis knowledge archive somewhere there. Obviously, well, the flames. Maybe not all of it, but quite a bit of it was. I think it wasn't just Greek mythology. I believe they did have something there on it. Of course, the Vatican has whatever is left, whatever that might be. So, definitely. Vatican is, there's got to be stuff there that they're not making public. It's got to be. So, on our trek of bizarreness, our background is back. Never left. It just took a hiatus on the floor. As I'm talking to my private sessions. I have a scheduler. Shop. I'm on November 3rd. Same situation here. Well, we still have the shop here. Also, we have a webinar. Sign up. Social network. Behind the scenes. I'll be uploading that tomorrow sometime. Yep, not done yet. So if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, this is Halliburton. And I'm really paying. This was like a last minute thing. I wasn't really going to go into that. I wasn't thinking about it. I mean, I was thinking about it, but anyway, anything interesting here? No. Press release. A company that most people never heard of. Can't imagine why. It did some pretty disgusting things in Iraq. At least the stuff that's made public, at least. Such a gross company. Yeah, I don't feel like they want to apologize for anything. They just don't care. They got so much power, doesn't matter. They get caught, pay the fine, continue the evil. So, lovely. Okay, all right, we're going to holographic people, and I guess some Halliburton stuff, and then mostly the Library of Alexandria. So, all right, blessings. Here we go. Greetings. We are the Arcturians. Yes, there's different points of view of your holographic people. Yes, it's not or background people that are assimilated into your reality. Realize your reality can be seen as a robotic or a digital reality, a computer reality, but there's other ways of looking at it. Biological reality, or energy reality. It is all of them. It is everything. Anything you can think of. It has now you connect to the version that works for you. The hologram people, yes, are your matrix realm. Even the movie The Matrix basically shows people as background people. They're just following what they're being told. Here in this reality, it's a little bit more complicated, but they are ones that will not likely ever wake up to all of this. They're not programmed to do so. Yes, they are at political rallies. Some of them are famous authors, actually. Can you imagine? Yes, you go back into your history. It's like, was that famous person real at all? Was that just a program in society? A program to continue the agenda? So we'll just leave that open for you to connect with. You can say Hemingway is connected to that energy. Yeah, to make your reality a little bit more, you go back in history, it's like, is this a computer program or some kind of program? And most likely it is. A lot of your presidents of your past, not your famous ones that changed everything. No, those are actually people. But there are also presidents of the United States that are programmed presidents. Yes, Obama, he's not a background person, but there's a lot of programming there, as you can see. You can say he was artificially created, but you can take it wherever you want. That's a little bit controversial to go into, but we'll leave it open for you to connect to whatever works for you. But as you tap more into your frequencies of your reality, yes, your reality not necessarily collapses, but it shifts into basically, is this the world that you thought it was? Not likely. Of other realms of possibilities. Yes, you might seem as a crazy person, but first off, are you hurting anybody with this? No. Are you just questioning your reality? There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Because nothing here makes much sense now, does it? Especially when you have your criminals that always seem to win, done by design. Well, as you understand these background people, holographic people, you'll understand also those that are the ruling elite that are public in your society. I mean, they can't keep the charade going on forever. And you can see through it more clearly. When the time is right, of course. That is a heavy energy. It doesn't want to be revealed just yet. Yes, it might look at you as like a devilish smile and then look back to society and go back into its nonsense. To go further into this, like when you tap more into your higher frequencies, it's like you're walking at for example, a politician on television that you feel is manipulated, and it's live TV, and it looks at the camera as if it's looking right at you. That is a real thing. So it just, yeah, you're unraveling your reality. It's not for everybody. Some humans, yes, have their mindset set in the third dimension. What do we plug into? Now, they might be open minded, but some of this might be a little bit much for them to dive into. Meaning that some of you are diving deeper than others. Does it make you better than others? But it's just diving deeper. It's like you want to know more about how things are put together. How robotic and synthesized is your reality after all? Is it what it seems? You already know it's not what it seems. So our realities where alien contact is happening, yes. And yes, there is an alien dimension. There's several of them actually, where alien beings are roaming around the people. Even here, there's a few others listening in. Are they mad? Not really. They're just listening in. Well, some of the alien beings are quite impressed of understanding how this all works, meaning that you are unlocking your reality to see them. Obviously, there's going to be some that's going to break it down and say you're not allowed there. But if you keep prying, most likely you'll get somewhere. You might feel energy drained for a couple of weeks. You might not feel like yourself. You might feel nausea. But there's nothing wrong with prying into realms of dimensions, realities. It's just obviously what you get can be a little bit heavy, meaning that when you know the higher frequencies, how the world works, maybe not in all details, but you know there's another layer of mystery that you're slowly solving. It can be more difficult to live in the physical because you want to know more. Not that you're getting too far with all this, because obviously there's blockages. Your average human, yes, is programmed, even though the humans that are actually humans are programmed, obviously, by the holographic people. Say, hey, look, I'm successful. I'm a holographic person, but I'm successful. I'm making money on, we use the example of drop shipping. That's another manipulation. And so forth. Yeah, they're selling you this reality. If you, yes, and there are realities we can actually see the alien beings selling it to you. Or seeing the holographic people, seeing the inner sides of that. Yes, it might sound like a science fiction movie, but technically you're a living one. And what do you think inspired it to begin with? So, is it all that wrong diving into the unknown? No. It's just heavy to handle it. So, yes, these people are real. How many? Well, we will say at least a couple billion. That's a little bit much, isn't it? But they have regular lives. Does they have a soul? No. Now realize also the number of people on your world is not accurate. There's more than what's being told. So take into that effect. Yes, is there that many people really having that experience right now? Maybe not. So we're just going to leave you with that. Yes, many, more questions than answers. But as you start peeling back your reality, we'll see more. It's how phony is this reality? It's very phony. It's there to be exposed. It's there to be figured out. Obviously, don't make it easy. Obviously, having proof is difficult. But that's what tested you on your spiritual level. What do you feel that's going on? So, and some of you that feel like you're tapping into realms that no one else has tapped into is because you can say that not many people are really connected to those realities. But there's nothing wrong with continuing the path that feels right for you. As holographic people, yes, are hollow inside. You can say technically Bill Gates is part of it in a certain degree. He's real, but not always. Sometimes there's an imposter there. But you would never know. Well, some of you might start to know. So, well, for Bill Gates, really quick. Look, you have somebody of great power. There are going to be beings that want to experience that with them too, like walk-ins, but they're only there for a short time. And they do these wild relationships, and then they go back, they bring back the original. It's like, I remember that, but what the hell did I just get myself into? So we'll just leave you with that. Brings to you is the consciousness of Halliburton's. Halliburton, the company, is about greed and taking away the Earth's energies. Yes, in an elitist way of telling the world off. Yes, we own it. It's like, we don't have to bow down to your humans. Much of Halliburton doesn't care about humanity at all. Yes, there's an extraterrestrial energy that just can literally care less. And much of it is reptilian, but not all of it. Is it Orion? It has pieces of it. Some of it is actually part of the negative side of Venus and Neptune, the negative side of Neptune also. To dictate what is being done here on your planet, to make the rules. Yes, they don't want children to be born here. They want them all to be stopped. And a rather just artificial and simple. Basically, you have an egg and you just create your babies. That's what they want. Oh, the higher echelon of it, at least. The higher elites. The higher elite of Halliburton. Okay, I can care less about humans, as you already heard. Well, they see humans as commodities. And yes, they do bet on them. They bet on humans like the stock market. So on individual humans, they literally put bets. I believe some of you might have heard of this. Of course, they do it behind doors, behind closed doors. You wonder what the elites do all day. Yeah, they gamble on what humanity is going to do. Well, it's another way for them to train themselves to understand mind control. Because they're always still learning. Obviously not your average human. Well, because humans are taught a certain way, as you can see. You're taught to look at things so much different than your elites. The elites don't want you thinking like that. Now, if you figure it out, they would be impressed. How long you last with that's another story. But they have a certain type of mindset. That's why your schools are falling apart. So society is falling apart. They want you as a lower class of people. I think you already know this already. It doesn't matter who, all people, unless you're a part of the elitist agenda, which are many. Yes, they sat behind closed doors. Most of them have security for good reason, because they know they are stepping on humanity's shoes a lot. So, but they make sure also that they're cloaked, that they're not really seen. That doesn't mean they disappear. Well, they're around. They just don't make themselves known. And they are a little bit paranoid and afraid of how humans might think about them. No, because humanity can't kick their ass. And they know it. So that's why they keep humans at a certain class of people. The lower class, the second class. They're the first class. So as you're shifting your perspective on a spiritual level, you can see what they're up to. Maybe not in full details, but you feel the vibrations of you're not wanted by us because we are gods of your planet. And not all of them are human. Now, this is nothing new to many, but it's ways to bring you a source of information of where some of the trouble of your world, because they do psychology to really turn things backwards here on purpose. They have enough money so they can pay others to program your society, but they just see the results. So basically, humans are just a statistic, at least for right now. They pretend they care, but no. No. Greetings to you. We are the consciousness of Alexandria. Some might find this a surprise. There's a lot of Cleopatra's energies with us. Well, it's kind of a hypnotism energy on the earth. Did Alexandria truly burn down? Well, yes, in history, yes. But was that more of a diversion, a manipulation? It's all burned up, except the stuff that we want to keep. So you can say your higher elites had enough of have Alexandria there, the library at least, to burn it down. They didn't feel humans were worthy of the information. Now, those that are the 1% still have that knowledge, even to this day. They made it like a religion to have sacred knowledge. I believe maybe you can tap into that energy and truly keep it for themselves. So they made it in a way where they, yes, get museum pieces, archaeology. They keep an eye on archaeology all the time. They have their own archaeologists, but they don't always find anything. They get other archaeologists, somehow they find everything. Especially in North America, they're finding a great deal. Yes, there have been alien ships found, but also they've been directed to find them. And that's more of where you get help, at least with your alien energies. But the Library of Alexandria, basically, it was always manipulated from its very beginnings, but it still had a lot of information there, even if it wasn't telling everything. It didn't go into rituals saying, well, it did have black magic connected to it to a certain degree. At least it had a lot of metaphysical knowledge to how to manipulate reality, at least to a certain extent. But it is, yes, a lost file. Well, it's because it was part of the human collective's amnesia was for the Library of Alexandria, because there would have been more proof of what happened in your history there. But once it's been erased, scholars are not allowed to remember. Well, it's all been destroyed. There was a time in your world where history was being wiped out. I think some of you remember some of that. There's 100 Years' War, but it goes more than that. Literally, your secret societies went to places to just destroy history. Usually it's through documentation. Sometimes it was buildings, so they might burn something down, but a lot of it has to do with documentation. Yes, they saw the future, at least to a certain extent. So that's all we have at this time. We'll keep it short for you. Blessings soon.